Got vision and destiny. At elemental, that's chemistry. All those heroes, that's infinity. It's endgame. That's
Yugi peoples, welcome to the in-depth commentary match. This is me versus YCS Champ Denis Nadas, Team JNC. He is on Sinful Spoils Rescue Ace. I am on Elemental Hero Niels Kluger. And yeah, this is our top four semifinals match, and I have like one hand trap. I have Imperm, and you'll see what we want to try to do with Imperm against the Rescue Ace deck. I'm pretty sure most of y'all already know this, but hey, when you have one hand trap, you got to do what you can with it. Yeah, and he starts off there with the warrior. He's gonna use the effect to add the field spell, and then he's going to activate emergency, swap it out for hydrant effect to go ahead and add the what's his name, the turbulence or whatever his name is. So he's going to go ahead and add that to his hand. Then he's going to use the effect, banish 2 from the graveyard to special summon it, and I'm going to make a huge play mistake. So on summon, I'm gonna go ahead and activate Imperm from my hand, which I ended up doing for absolutely no reason because he's already activated emergency. I don't have a monster on the board for him to dodge the Imperm with enemy controller, nor does he have SP Little Knight on the board. So there's really no reason for me to Imperm on summon here, but just out of instinct, I got caught up in that thing to, always having to play around those cards and that effect and stuff. So I ended up activating it on summon here, and yeah, it's going to end up being a big play mistake because the effect is once per turn, but since he hasn't activated it, if he can resummon it to the board, he can still activate that effect. So yeah, don't do that unless they haven't activated emergency, or they have SP Little Knight on the board and they can chain it to get him off the board to dodge the Imperm. So yeah, that was a big play mistake I make right there. And like in high profile game, well, I say high profile games like this, but it's just the locals top 4. But I mean, it was like a good practice for me, and yeah, just like all it takes is one mistake in order to cost you the game. And yeah, he's gonna make me pay for it right here, and we'll see the rest of his turn coming up here. So now he's going to link both monsters off in order to make Hinata the Fire Charmer. Then he's going to banish the Turbulence to special summon Preventer. He will link both of those off into SP Little Knight, and with Preventer's effect allows him to special summon Turbulence back to the board. So yeah, as you can see, my Imperm very badly timed there because he didn't have any kind of way to dodge it on the board or in his hand. I definitely should have waited for him to actually activate the effect of Turbulence, and now he's going to be able to use the effect while having SP Little Knight out there on the board and all 4 back rows now. So it just makes the match even harder for me to win. He's also got the field spell that he searched off earlier with Airlifter, so he's going to be able to shuffle 4 back into his deck and draw a card. He draws an additional normal summon and gets the which one is that? And yeah, it's just like to the point to, like I said, my hand was bad enough to the point where there was no way that I could play through that. And yeah, I just ended up losing the game. So now going into game 2 here, because of the type of deck that I'm playing and because I just love cross out so much, we side deck in a way to where we have like we try to have at least like 2 of the main hand traps that I really want to stop inside of my deck in order to cross out in case I do draw one, and then like 1 of the minor ones that I can typically play through. So stuff like Droll and Ash, I definitely want to leave 2 of inside of the deck. And then like Nib and Imperm are usually ones that I can typically play through So I go ahead and just leave like typically one of those off in there depending on like my whole side deck pattern. So, you know, going first here, I'm not really concerned about him setting up a board. I'm just trying to side deck in a way that will allow me to, you know, win the game going first here. Oh yeah, that's pretty much my strategy going into this game. And, you know, one of the things is I am on the elemental hero Niels Kluger deck. So if I have the secret village of the spellcaster, I definitely want to go into Niels Kluger. So my hand is not all that great. Matter of fact, it's pretty bad because I drew the one increase that I'm playing inside my deck, and I do have Ferris, but at least we have the hero lives to bring out Stratos, and he's going to go ahead and imperm that Stratos right there. But like I said, we do have the Ferris, and we haven't committed our normal summon, so we'll use Ferris. Pitch Denier, no effect because I got the increase, but we'll be able to link those two off into Cross Crusader. Use Cross Crusader's effect to special summon Denier, and then Tribute Denier to go ahead and add that Vion. We're going to normal summon Vion, activate his effect. We're going to send Shadow Mist, and we're trying to get to Liquid Soldier so that we can get our draw 2 here. And we'll go ahead and add our elemental hero Graceful Charity, banish the Ferris to go ahead and add our Poly from deck to hand here. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and link those two off for our Inferno Devicer. We'll be able to use Inferno Devicer. We're going to reveal our Niels Kluger, and it allows us to add our YUGIOH and our elemental hero OCG Neos. And yeah, we just want to be able to pitch the YUGIOH with our Liquid Soldiers effect. So, you know, things are looking pretty good here. I don't have the secret village yet though, but we go ahead and fuse together our Graceful Charity, our OCG Neos, and we're going to go Chain Link 1, Graceful Charity, Chain Link 2, Infernal Rage. We're going to draw the favorite contact there. We're going to draw 2, and we drew into the Fusion Destiny as well. I go ahead and pitch the YUGIOH because, like I said, we definitely want that in the graveyard for the Miracle Fusion play that we want to try to activate. We also drew the Foolish Burial, so we'll be able to send our Cross Crusader there, tribute the Infernal Rage to special summon our elemental hero Niels Aqua Dolphin. I really like this card since we already got the Miracle Fusion in hand. There was no reason to tribute him to special summon Sunrise. So here, elemental hero Niels Fusion Monster will special summon. We'll use Cross Crusader's effect, draw 2, not Cross Crusader, but Cross Keeper's effect to draw 2 and put 1 back to the bottom. And there's only 1 Ferris and 1 increase off of here, so we don't put the Ferris back, but we do use the Aqua Dolphins effect, pitching the increase to go ahead and hit that emergency out of his hand. And yeah, I was just kind of sad that we didn't draw the secret village of the spellcaster because we have like the perfect setup for it right now, but we didn't get it. We do got the Rhoda. We're going to go ahead and add that Stratos from our deck to our hand. We also drew the Fusion Destiny, so we're going to send our Malicious, but we drew all the other like big targets and stuff for it, so I think we're gonna have to actually end up sending both Maliciouses here, which is pretty bad. You know, it kind of sucks when you get stuck in this situation, which is one reason why, you know, sometimes we actually still kind of run the Honest Neos. So y'all saw in my last deck, I actually still ran the Honest Neos at regionals. I just liked it. So we're gonna get DPE out onto the board here. And I think like one of the things I actually could have done was I should have linked those off for Wonder Driver first here, and then I could have at least, you know, got my polymerization back. But you know, it's hindsight is a mother, and I was gonna attempt to go ahead and try to go into Wonder Driver, and then I remembered I activated Fusion Destiny, so I can only special summon Dark Hero monsters. So we have to go ahead and shuffle that back into the deck. And on top of that, my boy drew Super Poly, so he's able to Super Poly off my Inferno Devicer and my DPE to special summon out the Mud Dragon here, and he'll be able to use the Mud Dragon's effect to go ahead and call fire to make it to where I cannot target his fire monsters with card effects. Now, one of the best things about heroes here, and you know, keep in mind that you need to do this. Hydrant is not a quick effect. So on summon, we're going to go ahead and flip up the favorite contact here. We're going to shuffle back in OG Neos, Infernal Rage to go ahead and bring out our Shining Neos Wingman. His effect does not target, so we don't have to worry about the Mud Dragon here. We just have to make sure that we go ahead and do it on summon before he gets a chance to activate the Hydrant's effect, which, I think like he's reading a card. They don't play against heroes too often, so he didn't know that when he summoned the Hydrant that this thing does not target. So yeah, go ahead and flip that up. Go ahead and pop both of those boys because we got 2 different attributes on the board. And yeah, just double checking things to make sure. Go ahead and show him the material so he knows, what's going down. That way he also knows that he cannot be shuffled back into the extra deck as well in case that does come up here. But yeah, just remember, I'm pretty sure as a hero player, I already know he does not target. So yeah, blow stuff up. Don't allow your opponent to activate effects, and just ignore effects that say they cannot be targeted. And yeah, so we're gonna wipe his board there, leave him with no other players because he had to discard the other card to activate the Super Poly, and he activated the Imperm, and we also hit one with our elemental hero Aqua Neos. So here now, despite getting super polyed for half of our life, we still have enough life here. And the Shiny Neos Wingman, pretty big dude. We're gonna go ahead and add our plasma here, and we're going to be able to draw some extra cards here by going back into Infernal Rage. And yeah, we're just going to be a straight up win the game here. Yep, because of Shiny Neos Wingman, big old attack gain, and he's not able to do anything. So just as quick, well, not just as quickly, but almost as quickly as he wins game 1, we take game 2. So now going into this game 3, I'm thinking as I side deck, put in the most effective hand traps that I can, and also I decide to leave in back row removal cards such as Lightning Storm, Evenly Matched, and stuff like that. We're gonna side out like the whole elemental hero Neos Kluger engine, and yeah, because I don't need that going first. I don't need that going second, and we're just trying to get in as many hand traps as possible to stop him. Mainly, I'm wanting them to be Imperm and Ash and such. And then also at the same time, I'm siding in Crossout Designator, because if we do stop him on his turn, I don't want my turn to get ended by Droll and Lockbird. So we're trying to have enough hand traps in there to stop him, as well as, a variety of hand traps that I can cross out. So yeah, that's kind of like what I'm looking for as I side deck here. And like I said, also spell and trap removal just in case. And he's going to start off his turn with the Airlifter. We have Imperm and Ash in hand, so we're looking pretty good. And after adding Emergency with Airlifter effect, he's going to activate Durandal. Durandal is going to allow him to add Riccardardo. Riccardardo is now, I believe, gets discarded for the Diabell Star to set the quick play spell. He's going to use that, tribute the Diabell Star to special summon out Hydrant here. And so now Hydrant effect is going to allow him to add Turbulence from deck to hand. And you're going to see like one of the plays that Rescue Ace typically does when they can get multiple monsters out on the board. He's going to summon the SP Little Knight using both of those monsters. And this is the situation that I was talking about earlier, where on summon, before he activates the effect of Turbulence, you have to go ahead and Imperm, because if you don't and he activates Turbulence effect, you chain Imperm, he chains SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight banishes himself and the Turbulence, allowing Turbulence to dodge the Imperm. So one of the reasons why we're able to just go ahead and Imperm here is because even though we know he has the emergency, when he activates the emergency, we do have the Ash for it. So Imperm and Ash are a really good combination. I mean, they still have the interruption of SP Little Knight out on the board, but it's better to just let them have the SP Little Knight than for them to have, SP Little Knight along with all their back row cards back there. So yeah, Imperm, Ash, pretty good to go ahead and end, his turn, seeing as how he had already pretty much activated everything else. And now going into my turn, my hand is pretty good. We do have the Imperm, and I was trying to debate whether I should activate it to negate the effect of the SP Little Knight before I went into my turn, which I feel like at this point I definitely should have just went ahead and did it, because now he's able to activate the impulse effect, go ahead and get the preventer out on the board, and in my hand I have both Denier and Mally now. So I guess like the problem becomes is that like he has the SP Little Knight effect, and now he has the preventer effect, and instead of having just one interruption and just had him on preventer because of the impulse, he now has two interruptions because I decided not to imperm on the Little Knight. In which my reasoning was my hand is good enough to play through both interruptions, but at the same time, if it causes me to play awkwardly because now I'm worried about the Little Knight banishing my DPE, because what I could have did, was activate the polymerization, special summon out DPE, but then if I go into the battle phase and I attack into Little Knight, then he's able to activate the preventer's effect, and because I have DP out on the board, I would be forced to chain DPE's effect or let him get flipped face down, and then he would chain the Little Knight and banish my DPE from the board. So yeah, it's just like I just really did not want that to happen. So what I decided to do instead was just like go into the battle phase with Stratos and allow Stratos to get flipped face down. And then from there, preventer effect, flipping Stratos face down. Main phase 2, I'm able to activate the polymerization, fuse together the Denier and Mally that I have in hand to go ahead and make my DPE. And yeah, still have to be wary of SP Little Knight's effect, because he can still like banish stuff. And we're gonna go ahead and activate our Mally's effect to go ahead and special summon, and to see if maybe he's going to choose to go ahead and activate the Little Knight's effect, which I don't really feel like he's going to, because he knows that if it happens, we're gonna go ahead and hit that boy with our DPE. But now what we'll be able to do is use our little Mally Denier combo, and we're going to be able to try to get Plasma out here on the board so that we can negate a lot of those effects that he has on the board. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna go ahead and special summon out our Cross Crusader. We're gonna activate Cross Crusader's effect here, and he's just trying to decide what to do at this point. I put the Cross Crusader on the wrong side, but there goes the Cross Crusader effect. We are going to target Denier to try to go ahead and special summon him back to the board. He already used his effect to put Mally on top, but if he does have like some kind of bestial or something, I'd rather him hit the Denier right now than to hit my Mally, because I can still banish Mally to go ahead and special summon it. So yeah. Oh, he's waiting, trying to decide if he wants to let this Cross Crusader get the search effect. And I do believe this would actually be, no, it's not going to be the absolute last chance that we get to use SP Little Knight before I can get Plasma out on the board, because we still got to get that the Mally out there onto the board. So I'm going to have to banish him from grave to get him back out there onto the board here. And he goes ahead and decides to let it go, I do believe, because like I said, he doesn't really want his SP Little Knight to just get destroyed. He was asking about Denier's effect to special summon himself, and I did just use it. He goes ahead and uses the Little Knight. We're gonna chain the DPE effect. We're gonna destroy DPE and Little Knight, allowing our Cross Crusader to live here. And yeah, we're going to activate DPE's effect engrave. And one thing that I didn't think about was the turbulence effect to go ahead and send that. So yeah, my play mistake earlier of not activating the imperm on the little knight is like really coming back to mess us up. Like, I wouldn't have had to play around the whole effect at all if I had just decided to imperm it. But I thought that, you know, with only through two interruptions with the hand that I had, being able to just immediately make DPE, I was like, I could definitely play through both of those interruptions. But, you know, I guess like a couple things are going to happen here that I did not think about. So we're going to go ahead and be able to link those two off. We're going to go ahead and make our wonder driver here. And I think just like the main thing was, it's like I wanted to get my poly back when DPE comes back out to the board for next turn. You know, there was really, and then on top of that, the Mally was on top of my deck. So I really didn't want to leave him there to get drawn next turn. So yeah, we're just going to have to try to do the best that we can here. And we're going to set the imperm and hopefully try to survive another turn here. So now it's like in phase, trying to decide if there's anything to do. He's going to draw 2 cards in hand, and standby phase, we're going to special summon out our DPE. We're going to activate Wonder Driver's effect to go ahead and set the polymerization to our field. Is, you know, pretty much our only target, but, you know, it's probably like the best target outside of Miracle Fusion. And then one of the other things I want to go ahead and do is, while we're in standby phase, I want to go ahead and activate DPE's effect to destroy the turbulence. That way he does not have the effect to activate him and set those back row cards at the start of the main phase, because, you know, him being turn player, we go into the main phase, he has priority to do whatever he wants to do before I have a chance to, you know, do just like, you know, anything I want to do. And yeah, we don't have a negate. Well, we have the negate, we have the imperm for it, but I would just rather save that for, you know, his normal summon or for his emergency summon, whatever he decides to do. And even though he has the preventer on the board, it doesn't really matter if he goes ahead and Book of Moons or DPE, because it's not going to negate DPE's effect, and it's still going to allow me to go ahead and kill the turbulence, because DPE's effect has already been activated. So yeah, he's trying to decide here if he wants to go ahead and activate the preventer effect. And if he does, like, I don't know, like, just trying to decide if he's going to activate the preventer effect. If he just goes ahead and decides not to do it, then we're going to destroy DPE and turbulence there. He's got the Sinful Spoils card in his graveyard. He's going to be able to activate it. Put one on the bottom to draw. He gets the Riccardardo. Go ahead and show him the poly. Or the Sinful Spoils allowed him to banish it to add the Riccardardo. And he's going to normal summon that thing and trying to decide what else to do here, what he's going to link and go into. But yeah, pretty much like it just kind of sucked. I kind of blew it at that, and he goes ahead and goes off into the Linkaribo, and then he's gonna use both of those so that he can get the preventer effect. And for some reason I don't think he was running the well, no, because like earlier he went into the Hinata or whatever, the Fire Charmer. So I was wondering if he was running Almirage in here or not. But yeah, he's going to go ahead and summon out the Little Knight, and Little Knight is going to allow him to banish some stuff. And yeah, I think I just end up allowing it to happen as I'm looking at the Sinful Spoils card here, because I think like I never got to the point where that became a thing. So yeah, with preventer effect, he's going to be able to special summon a card here. There goes the banishment of my DPE with the Little Knight. And here comes the fire hydrant. And yeah, I think like none of it is like big enough to destroy my Wonder Driver. So I kind of felt like I was okay in this position if I just have to go ahead and imperm the hydrant. That way he can't get to his turbulence again. So now just trying to decide, see what he's going to do. On the activation of hydrant, I'm going to go ahead and chain the imperm here because I really don't want him getting to turbulence again. And I think like one of the things he's considering here is, you know, going into the dark charmer and, you know, just doing whatever it is he was going to do. He was looking to see like how my denier works in case he did end up special summoning it. He goes the hydrants effect. I go ahead and allow it to happen just because yeah, he has the little knight out there on the board so he can dodge imperm and such. And like I said, I just didn't feel like he was going to be able to he was not going to be able to kill me this turn because of that. But yeah, he's going to go ahead and link both of those guys off, go into the dark charmer. Dark is going to allow him to special summon back my my link monster. And I thought I had to special summon something in defense position, but that's Celine, so he's able to use those to link climb into access code talker after resolution of his attack gain. I'm going to flip up the imperm here, and yeah, as you can see, it was definitely a play mistake to allow the hydrant to go through. I definitely should have just impermed the hydrant on summon and allowed him to go from there because yeah, I ended up just like completely punting this game, and I feel like I was in position to win it. I was definitely in a position to win it after I had the imperm and Ash, and I just got like a little bit greedy, overconfident with deciding to hold the imperm instead of just imperming the SP Little Knight at the start of my turn. And now I have to face off against my opponent with 5 back rows. You know, DPE's effect is still going to resolve, allowing me to put Denier, a successful summon a Destiny Hero monster. He's got the trap card that's going to negate the effect, allowing me to put the Mally back on top of my deck. And then it also makes it to where I can't use the denier for anything, but it doesn't say I can't tribute it. So I'm going to tribute him for Ferris, attempt to activate Ferris's effect to put increase into my spell and trap card zone. But of course he has the other trap card that is going to destroy it. So now we just have increase into our spell and trap card zone, but no way to get a hero monster out there onto the board. And yeah, so as y'all can see there, I definitely had a chance to win the game. Should have impaired the SP Little Knight instead of trying to hold it and be greedy, but it caused my whole turn to be like played weird and differently, having to enter the battle phase early without, you know, special summoning my Phoenix Enforcer first out of fear of him getting banished by the SP Little Knight and stuff. So yeah, but I hope there were a couple things that y'all could learn and take from that matchup there. It's definitely winnable. You know, if you draw the hand traps, you just got to know how to use them effectively, and you know, just remembering like how your hero cards work also as well. And yeah, the Super Poly was you know, pretty rough, but we were still able to win that game through the Super Poly. But yep, that was my top 4 match with my elemental hero Neos Krogadek. Appreciate everybody for staying a while to listen, and I will catch y'all on the next video.
Man, he come through, he level up, he go cool, he's shining out and popping to over 9K. That's a breakthrough. We on top now. Here's a look at